Welcome to Ideagen TV live here in Miami. It is my incredible pleasure, my honor to be with Manoli and Nicole Lagos here at the Ideagen Global Summit, powered by and together with The Living Fuel.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so
It's
much
been a
for
great
having
day.
us.
What a day. What a day. You guys
Amazing
are crushing it.
Amazing day.
You're crushing it, and I want the millions of people that watch Ideagen TV to hear directly from you. How did this all come together? Where did the Living Fuel come from? Both of you, either of you?
Yeah, so it started with me when I was living in New York. I was working as a consultant at PwC, and I was one of the guys that was traveling 5 days a week, working 16 to 18 hours a day. And after about 4 or 5 years of that, something caught up to my body. My body started to slow down. As a guy in my mid-20s, I knew that wasn't normal. Why was I feeling sleepy after 8 hours of sleep? Why did I get diagnosed with a hypothyroid? And these things started to stack up, and it eventually pushed me to a point where I realized I needed to take my health a little bit more seriously. So that's when I was fortunate enough to find an integrative doctor in New York who was able to help me through nutrition, through sleep, through exercise, the foundations of health and wellness, get well. And I did that in 6 months. I pretty much reversed all of those diagnoses of autoimmunity, hypothyroid, all these things that a 25-year-old really shouldn't have. And that motivated me to continue the journey and to actually just dive deeper into this. So I went back to school, studied nutrition, and then I started helping people on my teams. And from there, built a system how to keep myself healthy in the high stress environment of a consultant. And somewhere along the way, I met Nicole. And I had this idea, and I was like, well, I kind of want to start something. I want to help people. I want to help people who are stressed, working these long hours. And she said, hey, you should quit your job and start this company. And that was the genesis of The Living Fuel. And our ultimate goal is to serve those people that work those hard jobs and that don't know how to deal with the stress that comes with intense industries like finance and technology and fast-growing companies. And yeah, she basically, I thank her for pushing me into the space.
It was one of our first dates. I remember when he mentioned it to me, but I was on a similar path myself. I was working at Adidas at an ad agency and working very long hours in New York City. And, all of that really caught me. And I had a pretty big pivotal health moment when I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. I was having really serious neurological issues that I couldn't diagnose. I was seeing 20 doctors at a time. No one really knew what was going on. And once I really had to just slow down and figure out what I needed to do to heal, I was pushed into the space of health alongside Manoli, who was the biggest support through a really hard time. And once I started to really feel better, I realized that this was also my life's work and my passion. So that's when we teamed up, and it's been amazing ever since. So.
Wow, it's so just incredibly inspiring to hear the story from both of you, because it's real, it's now your passion, and it's all about health, the living fuel. So how do you help people?
Well, it comes in our two approaches. Is one, we help people one-on-one that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, people that want to perform better, whether it's CEOs, athletes, and we just help people achieve their full optimal health. We do that through all of the tools and programs and coaches that we have on our team. And then at a larger scale, we work with businesses, just like the business that I came from and she came from. We're working with Deloitte, we're working with Slack, we're working with Free People, massive companies that are facing the same issues. Their employees are burnt out and they just don't know where to turn for very customized health advice.
Right.
And that's what we do is we come in, build these custom programs, and that's how we help people.
And so when you're looking at each client, how do you customize? How do you tailor the approach?
I think everyone is so bio-individual and everyone is so different. What one person can eat makes someone else not feel so great. So everyone is so different in that sense. So we really try to take that approach. I also feel as if we're a little bit different in this space because we take an Eastern and a Western approach, more of an integrative, holistic look. We're not anti-medication if that's where a client needs to go, but we'll always try to look at the body as a whole and kind of take that holistic approach first, which I personally, and I don't think Manoli did, we didn't really find that too much on our health journey. So we wanted to kind of fill in the gap there and just give people that well-rounded look at what was going on.
So you find that generally what was available that you were seeing in terms of your experience is really just more one or the other,
Yeah.
holistic or not type thing?
Yeah, and it was very cookie cutter.
Very
It wasn't customized. You couldn't really find anything that was specific to you. So that same approach that Nicole mentioned is what we do with businesses. We look at them as an individual. What kind of problems are their employees facing? Is it productivity? Is it working late hours, putting out fires? Is it burnout? And then we customize a program for those specific employees. And that's where we see real success.
And then how do you deliver the program?
Through coaches. We have a team of coaches that implement and deliver, and we do it in group settings, one-on-one settings. We have technology that pushes material out to the corporations. So it's kind of a bottom-up approach, but the companies that believe in it from the top, the CEOs, are the ones that have the most success.
Wow. Why is that?
Because they practice what they preach, and when the employees see that their CEO, their C-suite is doing these things, is making good choices, is actually prioritizing their sleep, not sacrificing it, pulling all-nighters, they start to do the same thing, and then they start performing better.
And it's just so incredibly exciting to hear, directly from you guys again about, what it is that you're doing and how you're helping people and companies. And so what's next? What's on the horizon here?
Well, we're working on a lot, and we want to continue just scaling, helping more businesses, creating technology behind our platform to help so many more people. And our reach is our biggest thing. And our social media has been growing, and that's another avenue in which we can reach people. We have a podcast platform. Yeah,
we also have a corporate kind of program that's been working really, really well for us. Just because we kind of look at, again, everything holistically, where there are multiple pillars, right? You have to work on your sleep, your stress, what you're eating. It's hard to kind of juggle all of that. So we kind of wrap it up into this really nice present where it's digestible and people can walk through it.
You mentioned your podcast. How can folks find your podcast?
It's just the Living Fuel podcast. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, and you can find us. We've had really good conversations, a lot of people that we're going to have in the room today.
Wow.
Yeah. And our kind of special thing that we're really seeing a lot of success with now, as Nicole alluded to, is this 90-day program where in 90 days, we can get employees 20% healthier, 20% more productive. We've been able to prove that through data, through wearables, through our healthy habits trackers, and companies see tremendous results because, as you know, a well employee is a very high performing employee as well.
Oh my gosh. And so how, you mentioned the Living Fuel, how can folks find out more about what you're doing?
So livingfuel.com is kind of our big hub for everything. That's where our bookings are. That's where you can email our team. But we're very active on Instagram too, because we put our daily workouts, our meals, we like to, again, practice what we preach. So we're on there a lot and just answering back and forth with just individual questions. So those are our two things.
So it's personalized.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to my last question. What's it like working as a couple in your business?
It sucks. I am only kidding. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this lovely person. Are you kidding me? She's helped me in so many ways, and I mean, it was a big decision.
I think the global audience just had a stroke, but everybody's okay. Just kidding.
I mean, listen, it was a big decision, and it was a risk.
Yeah.
And we weren't married at the time when we joined forces, but I knew she was my life partner, and I said, if she can make it through me in this business, we're going to make it together. And we did. We pushed through it. And we've just found ways to work with each other. She's got a skill set of creativity, and she sees things that I don't see. Yeah. And I'm more analytical and business oriented in my way. So we kind of stay in our own lanes. We found ways to make it healthy, make it fun, and not take away from our relationship at the same time.
Which is great.
I also think too, it's like we both had similar experiences with our health that we want to push that out into the world, and we know like the change we want to make is more important, and we always will foster our relationships, but we have the same kind of drive.
Well, and the thing is, you're focused on health, and you're right. Where you came from, your experiences shaped this whole thing. So it's like you're working together. You're working together for others,
Yeah.
which is incredible. I want to thank you both so very much. You guys are changing the world.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Manoli.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you.